What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pat's Chat. I'm Doug Kyed, joined as always by Michael Hurley. Pat's Chat is a proud member of the CLNS Media Network. Make sure to hit subscribe on the Pat's Chat channel, on Pat's Press Pass. Turn on notifications for a new video drops on the channel. Also, just subscribe to the Pat's Chat podcast in general. Give us a rating, a review, whatever you want to do. Michael, how are we doing?
Good. We get some good comments on the YouTube. I check it out, a couple days later, see what the people are saying.
I check it out like right afterwards. I check it out on the regular.
Some pretty good humor on there. So it is appreciated. I give it a thumbs up sometimes when people are pretty funny. So that's all I can really do. I give it a thumbs up.
If you see thumbs up next to your comment, it might be your good friend Mike.
It might have been me. I don't know if those things are public, but just know if you got a like, it was me. I liked it.
All right. So the biggest breaking news: the Patriots are playing the Chargers in the playoffs on Sunday night at 8 p.m. on NBC. That is exactly 6 days and 21 hours and 45 minutes from now.
Math chat.
Start your countdown now. A little surprising. Sunday Night Football? Big matchup.
It feels like a little pat on the butt for a West Coast team, maybe, because making them play Sunday at 1 across the country is maybe a little rude.
Sure, but there were other options. There was Sunday at 4. There was Saturday at 4. There was Saturday at 8. There was Monday at 8.
Yeah. So, something had to fill it. It makes sense. I just think the theme of today's podcast will likely end up being, wow, things are different than last year. Last year, they had, 2 primetime games?
Yeah.
And now you're being selected for the primetime game on Wild Card
Weekend. It's the biggest game, right?
They're all. Saturday afternoon is the least biggest, is the smallest. Monday night is the you got hosed. So yeah, I guess it's in the I guess you could call it the biggest game. Every game's pretty big this time of year, but yeah.
So yeah, you got Rams Panthers Saturday at 4. Just the Panthers being that in general, not really going to move the needle. Packers Bears Saturday night. So obviously that's a big one.
Yeah.
Bills Jaguars being in it makes that the Sunday at 1. 49ers Eagles though, Sunday at 4. I would have figured that would have been a prime timer.
Yeah.
And then the other Monday night game is Texans versus AFC North. So I think the order must go Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, or Sunday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon.
No, I would put
Monday night.
I would put Sunday afternoon ahead of Saturday night.
You think 49ers Eagles is a bigger
Sunday
game than Packers
4:30,
Bears?
You'll have Tom Brady on the call. Like that's a bigger one than Saturday night.
That's
people, not us, maybe you. People do stuff on Saturday nights, so still not a great window in terms of entertainment.
Yeah,
so,
that's fair. Lots of partying.
But yeah, I think, and then the Monday, I think you have to put the Sunday night game winner on Monday because they're playing currently, hitting each other, getting tackled, hurting their quads, all that.
They don't want to find out as they're playing, hey, by the way, you're playing on Saturday at 4:00.
Yeah, start stretching. But anyways, I think this was the matchup we expected.
Yes.
I think it's a matchup. The Patriots are 3.5 point favorites. I think that's accurate. I think it's a game the Patriots are fully capable of winning.
Yep.
Also losing, but I like their chances.
You're really covering your bases here.
I'm just saying it's not like, oh, they got the Chargers, pave your way to the divisional round, but I would pick them if I was, if I had to stake my shirt on this game, I'd go Patriots.
That shirt?
No, this is my Can't Be Like sweatshirt. We're not putting this up at risk. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because I think we'll probably do too much Drake May MVP talk later. I think this is a big moment in Drake May entering that national consciousness because people know who he is now, but aren't necessarily watching. And this is the first moment. I think Herbert's kind of a good comparison, don't you? Where he started he started as a rookie in his second week, I want to say. And everyone kind of fell in love with him. They loved the way he played. They loved the way he slings it. Hasn't really turned into much in terms of playoff success. So it's kind of an interesting, I don't want to say parallel, but to have him coming to your home and you're Drake May and you're sort of entering that national consciousness, I think it's a pretty big moment.
I actually think this might be the hottest take of all. There's some Chargers fans out there. They're rabid fans. I almost feel like Drake May has already superseded. Is that the right word? Justin Herbert in like public consciousness.
You think
Has there
so?
ever been a legitimate Justin Herbert MVP conversation?
No.
I he's obviously a very highly regarded quarterback,
Yeah.
but I think if like Joe Public was doing quarterback rankings right now, maybe it would probably be above him. So I agree with your overall point though, that Sunday night will be like the actual full coming out party, the bar mitzvah for Drake May, the quinceañero for Drake May,
Wow.
whatever you want to call it, for everyone in the world to see him. But he's definitely elevated his name quite a bit already this season. And I think it's bigger than a lot of the other quarterbacks around the league who are around the same level.
He did finish 9th in the MVP voting last year with four top 10 in MVP. Only 11 people received votes, and he was 12th in 2022 in MVP voting. So no, not really, but 2-time Pro Bowler. I would say there's a lot at stake for him in terms of what everyone thinks of him as a playoff quarterback. But that is going to be a good one.
4 interceptions last season against the Texans. Can't do that again.
I mean, he could.
Against the Patriots, it would be tough.
They don't have a lot of interceptions, even against Quinn Ewers and briefly Zach Wilson. So you're right.
The Patriots really like to, they're very fair to opposing quarterbacks. They're like, you know what? We can win without the interceptions. We don't need to drag you through the mud. We don't want to make you feel stupid. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I threw a bunch of interceptions. The Patriots don't do that. They're nice.
It's funny because Christian Gonzalez undercut Washington downfield today and was like, oh yeah, got the pick. And the ball was just wildly overthrown. And he was like, when they got tangled up. And then there was the one thrown right at Jack Gibbons, where he got a hand on it, and that was it. And it was like,
and
they had
the Hawkins one too was like Quinn Ewers just targeted Jalen Hawkins on that one.
That was like when a kid plays a video game and doesn't know how to pass, you know?
Yes. We'll get into all of this much later, but you mentioned it. So the Christian Gonzalez near interception, it sort of felt like, I don't know for sure, that was Taj Washington, right?
Yes.
Sort of felt like he just kind of like took out Christian Gonzalez's legs because he knew he wasn't going to catch the ball.
Maybe. I've long argued, this is a Hurley exclusive. If I was a defensive backs coach, we would work every day on getting our feet tangled.
Yeah.
And then like we would get a reputation of like, guys, I don't know what to tell you. Their feet got tangled.
He's just a clumsy guy.
It's really hard because when you see a trip in the NFL, it is always so obvious.
Right.
It's always like, you can't do that, idiot. So it would take a very high level. But if we practiced every day.
You are truly onto something here where all you have to do is just kind of like get one of your strides. The issue is that if you mistime it or miss it, then you're probably going to get burned.
And probably going to tear your hamstring because you're like,
you're like stepping intentionally, and some ankles could get injured, some knees could get injured, but it's a really, really good idea. Maybe I'll pitch it to the Patriots defensive backs coaches this week.
Yeah, I've been working on that one for a while. I'm glad to finally debut it. Should we talk about the game today?
Yeah, I mean, we just did. I think we're done.
All right, fair enough. No, but for like, I don't know, the third or fourth straight week, I am glad we didn't do a halftime podcast because first half, pretty lousy. It's not any defense to speak of. There was some misses. Drake May just chucking it instead of taking the easy money on the one punt drive, the block field goal, et cetera, basically a flawless second half.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, it's interesting because I think obviously Mike McDaniel has a great game script. I think that's probably why the Dolphins offense was giving the Patriots defense so much trouble in the first half. But it also was a little concerning to see them move the ball with such ease against the Patriots defense. And I mean, overall, like you had the interception in the end zone, which, Jalen Hawkins caught the ball, but that wasn't necessarily like a great overall defensive play. You had the goal line stand near the end, or you had the 4th and 1 at the 8 that they forced the turnover on downs. But like you allowed them to get that far down the field on both those drives. And, you know, the Dolphins are professionals too, but like you're kind of testing that theory in this game where Drake May said this week in an answer to a question that I asked him, you know, we don't have Foxborough High School on the schedule. No, the Dolphins are not Foxborough High School, but they're the they're the closest equivalent that you would see. Like a Week 18 Dolphins team is the closest equivalent that you might see in an NFL schedule. Them and the Jets in the
The
week
Jets,
week
I was going
18.
to say. I mean, you had not. I mean, if it was just the Dolphins, then maybe. But you had HN out, you had Waddle out, and you're playing with Quinn Ewers and Zach Wilson as your quarterbacks. So, yeah, I mean that's as low as it gets. And all that being said, it was 10 points, but like you said, that was due to a turnover downs and a turnover in the red zone.
Right.
And then
before the interception, that could have been a tied game, right? It was like 17-10 at that point.
I believe so. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And once again, I'm not like overall this game went well, but yeah.
Let me see. Interception. It was 17-10. Yeah. And then after that, this is what the Dolphins did after the interception. You ready?
Yes.
6 plays, 6 yards punt, 3 plays -1 yard punt, 3 plays -9 yards punt, 4 plays 15 yards punt, 3 plays 1 yard punt. So
real bad.
Whatever happened, it wasn't right out of halftime because they still kind of got pushed down the field.
Right.
On a 3rd and 17 screen to the tight end.
Yeah.
Atrocious. And then after that,
very few yards.
I didn't do the math in my head there. 5, -4, 11, 12 yards after that. They had 12 yards after that. So they got it together. They took care of business. They did what they needed to do in these last 2 games, which is win. It didn't help them get the 1 seed. But ultimately, if you were to look at the game on the whole, you can't be as critical as we would have been at halftime or even in the middle of the 3rd quarter.
No, absolutely not. And I think that even as much defensive issues as they had in this game, you do still have the possibility that you're going to get Harold Landry, Robert Spillane, and Khyiris Tonga back for next week, which would be massive. And Spillane practiced on Friday. I think that that's a good sign for his availability for the playoffs. Landry feels like they're just kind of being safe with him. Or like maybe we'll find out something later. Maybe there was some re-injuring. I don't know exactly what's going on there. Okay. But the fact that he was playing, then not playing feels like they're like, all right, let's just get him healthy for the postseason. And then Tonga, I think a couple of weeks ago, was reported as a 1 to 2 week injury. So we'll see what happens there. But getting all 3 of those guys back, and it's not as if the replacements specifically are playing poorly. Like Corey Durden had a pretty good game today. Jack Gibbons had a pretty good game today. And Anthony Jennings made some plays out there too.
Yeah.
But when you're then using those guys as your backups, as their 2nd and 3rd stringers, obviously that just strengthens and bolsters your defense overall.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of, I don't know, I'm just trying to tally the number of tackles for a loss today. It's like 8. There was a lot.
Yeah.
So a lot of those guys did make plays, and especially after.
I think there was 10.
10. See, you're better at the
including sacks, though. That's including sacks. So it was 6.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I know Jennings had one. Barmore had the sack.
Right.
Chason had the sack. Marcus Jones had a tackle in the backfield, not just the sack.
Right.
And Elijah Ponder had one too. So there was just a lot of action in the backfield despite all that. So yeah, you don't want to whistle past the graveyard and say, oh, they'll be fine once they get those guys back, because the bodies will help, but they still have to be more sound against the run, against the screen. Mm-hmm. If I'm Jim Harbaugh right now, I am working on my screens because they look susceptible to the screen game. Even when they had one bottled up, it turned into a 5-yard gain. So there's an issue there. There's holes, but I think that's what you're looking at going in. Like, this is not a perfect team, and they have some flaws, and so does everyone else. And it's going to be mayhem in this postseason.
You mentioned whistling past the graveyard. Someone in the press box today, like, you know how they play music during a football game?
Yeah.
Someone in the press box started whistling along to it. I don't know. I literally don't know who it was. I'm not protecting their identity here.
Yeah.
Someone just started whistling in the press box along to the music. It's like, sir, we are trying to work.
Yeah,
we don't need whistling on top of the music that's already kind of distracting.
Whistling is one of the worst things someone can do. It's, if you're at work and someone's whistling, it should be legal to physically confront them.
Because it's truly just a pointless, distracting act.
Especially, I mean, if you're trying to work and focus and you need to like hone in on something, there's something about the whistling that just pierces right through the cerebellum and just breaks down the brain. It's truly appalling behavior.
Yep, I agree. So yeah, I mean,
I heard it was Mike Reese. It was Mike Reese.
Well,
it was Mike Reese.
It was not. I'm straight across the entire press box from Mike Reese.
Yeah,
that's how loud. Separated.
That's how loud he whistles.
I have more confidence in the offense going into this matchup than I do about the defense. But the defense had some very, very, very strong moments when they were at full strength. And it's pretty incredible. Like, I don't want to jinx anything. I don't think anyone got hurt in this game. Caleb Von Chason left briefly, but then came back. It's pretty remarkable that the defense does not have a single season-ending injury.
Yeah. Like Milton Williams came back.
The best players who were in week 1, some of them have the depth chart has shifted a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, Keon White's gone, Kyle Duggar's gone, but those guys were traded. But there's a possibility that as long as those 3 guys come back, that they will actually be at full strength in the first round of the playoffs as they were in week 1. That's pretty remarkable. Yeah. And on offense, the only season-ending injury was Gibson, right?
Sure.
We'll see if Jared Wilson can come back. He was still in concussion protocol last week.
Ben
Brown's been a good replacement for him anyway.
Alex Austin played 100% of the snaps in week 1. So I guess
that was because Christian Gonzalez didn't play.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Yeah, all of your top guys from week 1, except for, like you said, Keon White.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's been a healthy season. I think that's why they are where they are. Because
that's a big factor.
Another reason, and I was thinking this
Don't say that to Mike Vrabel.
Okay. Or Andrew Callahan, because he'll write about it. But one thing that came to mind today was there were people, and sometimes we go too far, and people were saying, however, I think it was a real sort of movement, quasi-movement. People wanted Ramondre Stevenson cut.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of September because of the fumbles. Yep. And I went back and saw what the patch chat said and made sure we didn't say that. We didn't. We thought maybe a short-term benching because the fumbles were bad.
I thought the idea of cutting him was just as absurd then as it is today.
Well, we weren't even deactivating him for the following. Right. Like he was just not the starter.
Right.
Which might have happened.
Which kind of happened.
Yeah. I mean, Henderson sort of passed him. Stevenson ended up getting dinged up anyway. But he was outstanding today. And I think...
Crazy.
Yeah. Just looked as good as he did in week 2 against Miami. Like those were his 2 best games. As good as he did
in year 2 when he had 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his touchdown catch, that little sluggo that he ran, like the cornerback was spinning.
Yeah,
it was nice.
Linebacker. It was a linebacker running number 25.
Fair enough.
But still,
if you wear 25, I'm sorry, you're a cornerback, and just the hands to finish that, like it wasn't the most accurate pass. It was a little high, so he was outstanding today, and I think it speaks to just the maximizing. Like they have squeezed every last drip out of this lemon. That is the 20 lemon, not in the bad card term, out of this fruit. They are squeezing every last ounce out of it.
I mean, I'm going to say some silly stuff about Ramondre Stevenson, but like he looked like Bijan Robinson. He looked like Saquon Barkley. He looked like that level of player today.
And I know that,
what was that?
From the first play, that's a play where you're like, why doesn't Ramondre Stevenson ever get plays like that? Why doesn't he ever break it free? And he did.
I mean, and obviously you can't count on that from Ramondre Stevenson every week, and it was against the Dolphins, but that was a remarkable performance against the Dolphins today. And like Travion Henderson wasn't doing that today. Travion Henderson had a good game, but he wasn't playing like he was like a top 10 running back in the NFL, like Ramondre Stevenson was. It was really wild. And the most interesting thing about this is that it's now really kind of happened 4 weeks in a row. Ramondre Stevenson is averaging a ton of yards per carry over the last 4 weeks. It was already 6.7 heading into week 18. And then he averaged like 17 yards per carry today.
18.7. He had 7 carries for 131 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
It was actually like, obviously it wound up going fine, but there was there was a short yard situation where they gave the ball to Travion Henderson on a sweep, and it was like,
that was 4th and 1.
Just give that to Ramondre Stevenson.
That was a bad play call. Let's have the running back run sideways on 4th and 1. But then Stevenson had a similar, I think it was a 3rd and 1. He gets it up the middle. He's hit and shakes it off and ends up getting like 7 or 8 yards out of it. So everything was pretty good from him today. I'd say he was like he probably outshined your quarterback, which is hard to do these days.
He did. I wrote that Drake May basically had to play. He played second fiddle today because of Ramondre Stevenson. And actually, there's an interesting note in here. DJ Jazzy Tiff, Mondre was too good, cost Drake the MVP because Stafford loves throwing 1-yard touchdowns. That is a spin zone. Ramondre Stevenson might have been too good, and he cost Drake May the MVP today.
I want to see a tweet someone sent me, and I hope it just pops right up when I search for it, because I tweeted something to that effect. They had 3 touchdown runs from inside the 2, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And oh man, I don't know what Twitter search sucks. Like, all these tweets aren't to me; they're to someone named Michael J. Knowles. Who's that? I don't know. Anyway, someone basically was like, "Thanks a lot, Vrabel and McDaniels, for stealing the MVP from May." And it's kind of like, I think some people will do MVP talk later, but like, I feel like people have lost the plot with the MVP. Like, it doesn't matter.
No, it's not.
It's like, you don't get a hamburger if Drake May wins the MVP. You don't even get a French fry. So, like, yeah, you want him to win.
People do care deeply about it, though.
It's really strange. Not that it's strange to care, but it's strange to like be mad at the coach and the play calling.
No, you can't do that. Yeah.
I'll just say it. Let's say it now. There's no reason to save it because this game was whatever. I think teams that go out of their way to care about that stuff are loser teams. I think even the best team we've seen, the 2007 Patriots, fell victim to it in Week 17, where they're letting Brady chuck it as many times as possible to get him the record, to get Moss the record. Like, that was their goal that night, and they almost lost the game to the bad Giants, who ended up beating them in the Super Bowl. And I just think it's not the right focus. And I think you could say I'm ridiculous for saying that's why the 07 Patriots didn't win the Super Bowl, but I don't know. All those years of Peyton Manning winning MVPs while Tom Brady won Super Bowls has impacted the way that I think about football teams. So the fact that was never a question for the Patriots right now, I think that was on Sunday. I think that was a positive thing for the state of the New England Patriots. And if you're mad that it cost Drake May the MVP, I don't know what to tell you.
Right. Yeah. They easily could have called some passing plays, some rubber outs, and whatever to get those touchdowns in May, and they didn't do it. One thing to clean up: over the last 4 weeks, Ramondre Stevenson is averaging 9.6 yards per carry. That's a lot of yards per carry. That's almost a first down every single time he touches the ball. But how do you feel about trying to get guys incentives?
It seems to be more common now.
It is different than trying to win the MVP. Because, why would you not want your guys to get an extra $250,000?
Right. And if it does take away from what you're doing, like, I remember Brady came out of a game for Tampa and then reinserted himself just to make sure Gronkowski got an incentive.
Right.
So it's definitely become more like they're talking about it on broadcast. I don't remember that being a thing 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But it does seem to be, as they've become, I wouldn't call them cap circumventors, but cap creativity ability makers.
Right.
They're more common, I guess. And that is part of that relationship. I mean, Drake May, like Stephon Diggs was he was very aware when Hunter Henry caught that little 4-yard pass or whatever on the sideline. Diggs was up there pointing at the scoreboard, letting him know that he just made whatever Henry. What did Henry make today? $250,000?
Either 250 or 500.
I think he was 250. Diggs was a half.
Yeah.
Chason was a half.
Yeah.
He was flying around on that drive.
That was wild that he got that too, because he had to run around the whole field to get that sack.
Was that still yours?
Yeah.
He held on the ball. He likes to hold on to the football. Just
he does.
Throw the ball in, man.
We have a comment in here: not caring about MVP is odd. That comes from Cool Sturgill. I do. I mean, I certainly care enough about the MVP to have written about it multiple times and to have asked Drake May about it. So I think it matters, but obviously, like, the overall goal of a football season is to win a Super Bowl, not to win an MVP. Yeah. But I think, like, as far as, like, Patriots fans are obviously extremely invested in Drake May. And 20 years down the line, when you're talking about Drake May's legacy, him winning an MVP in 2025 will matter. It won't matter as much as other things, but those things do add up and they do matter and they do count at a certain point. And I think that might not be like the thought on Patriots fans' mind of like why it matters, but that is why those individual awards matter to people.
Yeah. But here's what I'd say. Like, this is a New England based podcast. I think everyone here followed the Patriots for a certain amount of time. Aaron Rodgers, believe he has more MVPs than Tom Brady.
Right.
Peyton Manning has more MVPs than Tom Brady, whose career was better. So I just the award is the award. I don't know if I'm too affected by that. Brady won what? 07, 10, 19? No, 18. No, 17. Sorry. 07, 10, and 17, right? 3 MVPs.
Was that the 3 years? I mean, if it was, those are
Definitely
3 years they
07.
didn't win a Super Bowl.
10 was the first unanimous MVP, and 17 when he was 40 years old because Wentz got hurt at the end of the year. So yeah, all 3 of those.
Yeah. Didn't win at all.
I like, it's cool. Like you'd want the player on your team to be the best player in the league, right?
Right.
And I know that if Drake May doesn't win the MVP, that's not going to mean the Patriots win the Super Bowl.
Right.
But I think if your focus is more on the MVP than handing the ball off at the 1 and scoring a touchdown to win.
Right. You'd rather
18,
score a touchdown than win the MVP. Like, yeah.
Then you've just got it twisted, and that's okay. And honestly, what did Stafford finish with? 46 touchdowns?
Something like that, yeah.
He's going to win the MVP. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
No.
Voters, like, you're a Patriots beat writer, right?
Yeah.
People like you. I don't think you have an MVP vote,
no.
right? People like you, like the Packers writer
for the people like me.
People like you. They do. But someone that covers the Packers for the Milwaukee Sentinel Journal was covering the Packers game today. Wasn't watching the Patriots game. Wasn't watching the Rams game. He's going to watch, or she is going to watch recap shows. They're going to read the stats. They're going to follow it. But they're not watching, and they're not going to break down CPOE and EPA per play and be like, well, I got to go with May. They're just not. And I don't think people are recognizing. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I really would be surprised.
I think May will get some votes.
There's 50 voters.
Right.
So you could split it, which happened with McNair and Manning, which was wild that they did that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would venture to guess Stafford at least has a 30 to 20 edge in the voting.
Albert Breer seemed to think that Stafford was going to win it even after Stafford sucked last week. So
yeah. And
I think
Orlovsky declared it over.
Cemented it.
Orlovsky declared it over today as soon as Stafford threw. And there's also
I'm sorry. That's Matthew Stafford's former backup, Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah. And there's also like a graphic going around. And listen, 1-yard touchdown passes are rinky dink. I remember Manning threw a million of them when he beat Brady's record in what was his first year in Denver when he had 53, I want to say.
Right.
A ton of those were on the goal line. And it's like, I don't know what to tell you. They count.
Right.
Like you can discredit it fairly. Like you don't have to be impressed by it, but it goes in the stat sheet, and that's ultimately what I think is going to carry the day.
That is very true. All right. Let's take a quick break before we get into our booms and doobs. Tell you that this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard, but in life and on Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every weekend and elite hoops action almost every night, the action never stops, and Prize Picks lets you take control. Michael, it would ruin the shot if we gave ourselves a standing ovation, but we did win on Prize Picks. Play
the song.
Drake May, less than 246.5 passing yards. Drake May, less than 270.5 pass plus rush yards. And Quinn Ewers, more than half an interception. We also did have Devon Achane for more than 68.5 rushing yards, but he was inactive, so that didn't count. We won. We did it.
We did it.
Yep.
We did it. I knew we'd do it. We saved our best for last.
Absolutely. So make sure to listen to us next week too. I did do one other one just on the side, and that was Drake May, less than 265.5 pass plus rush yards. Quinn Ewers, more than half an interception. But I also did Ollie Gordon, more than 20.5 rushing yards. And he wound up with 9 because I think he lost 9 yards at one point.
Yeah, he gained 9 yards.
He was on the receiving end a lot of those tackles for loss. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. 9 carries, 9 yards. Had a 9-yard carry. So you do the math on how he ended up there.
Yeah.
You get a little, you lose a little. You get a little, you lose a little. The Dolphins as a whole ran for 63 yards in the game, which I think was Stevenson's first play, wasn't it? That was
56.
39 yards. 56 yards.
He had a 56-yarder later.
Wait.
I think.
No, 56. 56. Yeah. It was after a 9-yard run. Carry on. Carry on.
Oh yeah. So yes, Prize Picks. We did it. We won. We're good now.
You're welcome.
You can follow us. We know exactly what we're saying. We know exactly what we're talking about. If you download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup, that is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Midway through the week, we will give you our Prize Picks for the Patriots Chargers game, which, as I mentioned before, Sunday night, 8 o'clock. You know what? People don't really need to hear this, but I was rooting for a Saturday game, maybe a Sunday afternoon, but I don't know. Sunday night's fun. Like, stadium's gonna be juiced.
Yep, it'll be a good one.
Tirico and Collinsworth on the call. It's gonna feel like an important game.
Yep.
No one cares about what I want. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I think it's better. The Patriots played the Chargers at 1 o'clock on a Sunday in divisional round, if I'm not mistaken, in 2018, and it was like, get this over with. It didn't look good. It was aesthetically unpleasing. So, no, it's a positive thing. And I agree. No offense, nobody cares what.
Do you know when the last time the Patriots played a 425 game at home was?
No.
I worded that like I was going to know the answer, but I don't know either.
Oh, I know now. I can go way back to like 18, 19, I'm guessing.
It might have been that. Who knows?
I don't know. Could have been this year, Doug. Our brains aren't exactly.
Definitely. No, this was the only 425 game of the season. The Saints game was supposed to be 425, but it got flexed to 1.
Okay.
So, but it just felt weird being there. It was like sort of dark when the game was starting.
Yeah, they had 2 road games in the West Coast. Oh no, they played at Buffalo at 425 last year.
Well, that's not a home.
Famously not a home game. 2023, they had that was at Dallas. That is not a home game. That was at Vegas. That's not a home game. We got to go back to 22.
22, they had one
at the
road.
Packers.
Yep, so not 22.
Wow, this was
21. 21 week 1 against Dallas. The Dolphins. 21 week 6 against the Cowboys. So that was the last one at home.
Yeah, Kendrick Bourne, game-tying touchdown. Been a while. Great.
2021, week 6 against the Cowboys. So, yeah, it had been 4 years, more than 4 years. Crazy.
Well, there you go. And I think, I was just thinking this morning as we were all preparing for, first of all, Thursday Night Football has become such an important part of my week that this was a long week to go without football. And I know we had Saturday football, but like, whatever. This morning, I'm like, last year there was the pregame report that Mayo would be out. They blew the number 1 pick. Everyone was sad. They fired Mayo. I was like, oh, mess. The year before, you would always picture Bill Belichick's last game with the Patriots to be this sort of moment. It was not a moment. Mm-hmm. It was a snowy loss to the Jets. Slater's last game, it was like just bleak and dreary. And then today, you're 13-3, looking to go 14-3. You dominate a team and you're going to the playoffs. It's just, I don't know. Everyone knows it's been a quick turnaround, but I just think today it kind of crystallized just how nuts it is that they're in this position.
No, it really truly is. And like, it's funny when you mention like them losing the number 2 pick in 23, and then they wind up with Drake May, which I don't think any Patriots fan in the world right now would trade Drake May for Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels. And then last year, obviously, like maybe they would have taken Will Campbell anyway at number 1 overall. Maybe Vrabel and Campbell hit it off so well, but they probably don't. They probably trade it. Who knows if they take Abdul Carter or someone else? Like I don't know. Campbell looks like he was the right pick right now.
Mm-hmm. Who also played today? Could I tell you any mistakes he made? Nope. Doesn't mean to make them, but I didn't see him.
PFF charted him with 1 QB hit, but Drake May wasn't sacked. The run game was explosive all day. So offensive line was a pretty major strength, I feel like, today.
Absolutely. So, it's just, you're in a good spot now. Like, whatever happened, I think, again, you don't want to sound loserish. You don't want to be like, oh, whatever happens, it's all gravy. But it kind of is. And Vrabel said so. Yeah. When did he say it? I'm trying to think. I think it was his pregame radio interview today, and he was asked, if you keep an eye on the Broncos or whatever. And he brought back as this is a team that won 8 games over the last 2 years combined, which is what he was telling us in preseason.
Right.
Which I thought was like hey guys, relax. And I don't know if this was preemptive, don't start booking trips to the Super Bowl or whatever, but it is realistically, let's say they lose Sunday night, people can be mad and upset and whatever, and that's going to be normal. But I think the big picture view you have to take is they just like short circuited and fast forwarded their rebuild and are in the money going into next year.
I hate to agree with you, but I was gracing everyone's television screens on Friday night.
I saw that.
And one of the questions was like, the Patriots are built to win in the future. So is it more digestible if they do have an early playoff exit? And I was like, yeah, it is. Plus no one expected this. This is a dream season. Just the fact that they're there at all is huge. And Megan Ottolini and Rich Keefe kind of disagreed with it. And in my opinion, which is obviously, I get their point, you don't want a first round playoff exit. But like, if there's any year where it is digestible and it is forgivable, it's a year where their win total over under was 7.5 going into the season. And as you just mentioned, they won 8 games combined over the last 2 years. Like, and 2022, how many did they win?
8.
8. So
and I think they were playoff
over 3 years.
I think they were playoff. They were alive in that Week 17 game. Remember, the Bills had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. I think they were still like, if they won and something else happened, they could have made the playoffs. So they were alive in Week 17 that year.
Yeah.
But that tells you where they were at as an organization.
Bad year anyway. I mean, good Lord.
And what were the Patriots' preseason odds to win the AFC East this year?
Oh, I have no idea.
Like plus 5,500 or something.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. You just have you can't just throw all that in the trash. And plus 550, it looks like. Yeah, they were. I don't know. Google sucks now. We've been through this. I don't know. They were not looked at as a even viable division winner, let alone anything else. So
no, I mean, just the fact that like them winning the AFC East is crazy enough. Them, or even like them making the playoffs is notable. Them winning the AFC East is crazy. Them finishing with 14 wins is absurd. Them having the number 2 seed, it's just like, it is all so much better and so much more accelerated than anyone thought it would be.
Precisely, Doug. Precisely.
Okay. Let's do some booms and dooms. Number 1 boom for me was Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah. We covered that.
Do you have a boom?
Yeah, I want to throw Gibbons in there for the forced fumble because I felt as though that was desperately needed. Like the only way to stop Miami at that point was to steal the ball from them. And it was literally a stolen ball. Like Gonzalez hit him and Gibbons came in with the perfect punch. Who recovered it? Farmer?
No, Ponder.
I knew it was
Farmer's
an
on IR.
I knew it was an IR. Well, it's been a long day, Doug. I got a man cold. But yeah, I put Gibbons on there for that because they just needed a play, and he made
also had 2 pass breakups. One was the dropped interception. The other one was in the end zone. I believe that was the one. That was the 4th down stop.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good game from Gibbons.
Good game from Gibby. Dr. Gibby.
Yeah.
I honestly, Gibbons has played so well in the last few weeks. When Spillane comes back, like maybe they go back to the rotation with Gibbons and Ellis.
Yeah, you probably don't need Spillane to play 100% of your snaps like he did earlier in the
possible
year.
Too. Well, but if he's got the green dot on the helmet, he kind of has to.
Well, figure it out.
It depends on how well he feels, obviously. Another boom, not as big of a boom. Sorry, what?
One more last thing, because just to sew up the Stevenson thing, I had one more note. There was a play he had. They were going toward the closed end zone, and Vrabel basically saw him break outside and ran with him on the sideline and was so fired up and like welcomed him back to the sideline. And it's like, I don't know. We talk a lot about Vrabel and the culture and all that, but I just think going back to September when you'd have to sit there and be like, are you going to bench Ramondre Stevenson? He fumbles a lot. To this point, I think it just was like a postcard of this season right there.
Well, Will Campbell really did himself a disservice in his free agent.
I know.
What's it called? Bartering or whatever in the future.
Leverage,
because he said that he doesn't ever want to play for another head coach other than Vrabel. So
you might be wrong because they could fire him and then he could be somewhere else, and then still
they still Can't really negotiate very well. But no, obviously, like that tells you how players feel about Mike Vrabel, or at least that tells you how Will Campbell does. And Campbell was also saying that when he was coming out of college, people said like the culture is never going to be the same. Like it's you're never going to have the same bond. Like the NFL is not like college. And he was like, that's BS because it is here. And I would imagine, listen, I don't know Brian Kelly personally. I would imagine that playing for Mike Vrabel is probably more fun than playing for Brian Kelly.
Probably a little more interaction.
Yeah.
Probably don't see your college coach in those big time programs.
I'm going to give a boom to TreVeyon Henderson. Not as big of a boom as Stevenson. But, I mean, you score 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You average like 4-something yards per carry. He was decent out there. And that's all they needed from him.
Yeah. I mean, 2 touchdowns is 2 touchdowns. You can't sort of throw that away. I had just sort of a collective of all those tackles for a loss. You had Barmore, Jennings, Williams, Marcus Jones. Like they were in the backfield a lot. So I give the defense credit, despite it being kind of an ugly defensive day. They made a lot of plays that were enough to limit them when it mattered.
I'm giving Drake May a boom.
Yeah, so there was a point in this game where I was like, a lot of times this year, right? We've said you don't win this game without Drake May. And there was a point during this game where I'm like, I don't know if that's true. Like could you have won this game with Joshua Dobbs? And then the second half, May was basically perfect.
And Dobbs comes in and doesn't really do anything.
Airmailed an open deep shot and then just wasn't very good. Ran to the sticks with the ball behind them. That's a new one. Haven't seen that too often. Whereas
Drake May scrambled out of bounds for the timeout for the clock stoppage.
He ran so well today. He moved in the pocket so well today. I think that's why he made our booms.
He baited the face mask,
pushing off the D lineman, working through the face mask, running for the first down. That one where he stepped up in the pocket and like kind of threw a little jump throw to Diggs wide open over the middle. That's why he made our booms. I can speak for both of us. He was, I would say, he didn't get sacked.
No.
Right.
And there was pressure, obviously. There was times when there was guys coming after him, but he evaded and eluded everything.
Yeah. Good game from Drake May. Nothing that'll blow anyone's socks off, but
might not win him any MVP awards, but it was a good game from him. Did you have another one?
I'd say honorary mention boom.
Okay.
I was pretty impressed by Andy Borregales in the cold. That's been a thing I've wanted to see.
Yep.
50, was it 59? 59 yarder.
Yeah.
59 yarder in January. Now, granted, the conditions were fine. Wasn't windy. I mean, it was cold.
Yeah, it was cold.
Yeah, but I mean, a 59 yarder. And I don't, sometimes the kicks are low when they get blocked. I don't think the block had anything to do with him. There was a breach. So I'd give him an honorary mention.
Came right through Vidarian Lowe and Brendan Hymes.
Yeah, that was tough stuff. So I think that matters. You know, they're going to be in a playoff game. They're 3.5 point favorites. Should be tight. Every point's going to matter.
One more honorary boom goes for Jalen Hawkins. I know he was just kind of standing there and the ball floated his way, but 4 interceptions for him. I think I'm probably going to write about Jalen Hawkins this week, but it's just interesting that you head into the season, you're assuming that Jabril Peppers and Kyle Duggar are going to be your starters at safety. Craig Woodson kind of comes along, but then Jalen Hawkins truly has been one of your best defensive players this season, which he was an afterthought signing in 2024 and afterthought re-signing this season. I think when he re-signed, no one could have possibly expected him to be a starter all year, to lead the team in interceptions, to be a guy who's going to be on the field every snap when he's playing the game. And he's had a great season. And I think a major thing about him, and coaches talked about this week, is like out of any other veteran on the team, he is like the most bought in to everything that Vrabel is selling. And that's not necessarily something that you would see from every 28-year-old journeyman veteran. They might be kind of, I don't know.
Done that. Blasé.
Yeah. A little bit beaten down by the NFL, but he is like fully on board with everything. And I think he helps carry the message. I think he's a great leader, and he's had a fantastic season in part due to that.
Yeah. Fair enough. I would add one more honorary mention. Hunter Henry had that sweet one-handed catch while spinning around.
And then he had a good game overall and got paid for it.
Yeah, good for him. But yeah, good. Well said. Well said.
Dooms.
I had a lot of dooms.
Like super glaring ones. Carlton Davis, though. had the DPI, and he also allowed a couple of catches early in the game.
Yeah, he didn't look into it. He didn't look engaged. The first play out of halftime, you get burned and you got to, commit a PI, so you didn't give up the touchdown. And he just didn't look all that into it at the time. You got to be, you're the veteran. You got to be better than that. After whatever was said at halftime, that's how you come out not good. I also had Craig Woodson, looked like it was his fault on the touchdown, just stepping up instead of I know Gonzalez was the closest defender, so PFF will probably like dock him a touchdown or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know any scenario where Christian Gonzalez would be responsible for like the deep left
from where he was positioned. Yeah,
that looked like a safety gaff. So
I think that's fair. And then also just the blocked field goal. Like, I mean, listen, it is what it is. I don't know if it's going to rear its ugly head in the playoffs, but special teams over the last few weeks, you have the screwed up fake punt where Marte Mapu's throwing the ball. You allow a first down on a fake punt.
Mm-hmm.
You have a field goal blocked. And then also, I know this is minor. This is about as minor as it gets as far as like NFL criticism gets.
Mm-hmm.
But when you've just kind of conceded a lot of the time, we'll just kick the ball in the end zone. Like, we'll take the touchback. When that brings you to the 30, it's a 35-yard line, right?
Yeah.
That's not good. Like, you should not be so afraid of giving up long kick returns, because most of those are getting you around like the 25 or 30-yard line. To allow that extra 5 to 10 yards and just be like, whatever, we'll just kick in the end zone. I know maybe they were playing it safe for the last couple of weeks because it's the Jets and Dolphins, and as long as you don't screw things up, you're going to win those games. But like, you don't want to go into the playoffs just allowing good teams to start from the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think these are the things that matter more when you play. And the Patriots have not played many good teams, so these are the things that, as you now go into the games that matter, are going to be more of a factor than when you play the Jets.
Now Michael's going to do 15 minutes on schedule talk.
No, I just you were a little hesitant to bring up what you called a minor criticism.
No, I agree. No.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt you in games like this, but you're not playing any more games like this. Though the Chargers in the playoffs, you never know. You never know.
What if they play the Panthers in the Super Bowl? That's kind of a game like this.
That's true. If the Panthers make the Super Bowl, then you can have another game like that.
How funny would that be if the Panthers made the Super Bowl and then people can still talk about the Patriots schedule?
The Patriots, though, that would give them a win over the NFC champs. So I think that's good. I don't
know. People might still be like, it's a fraudulent season. They didn't beat a real team in the Super Bowl.
I don't know that that's ever happened, but I think we're not talking about this. We might never talk about this. So this Super Bowl could be the weirdest stuff. It could be like Jaguars.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the thing where
Panthers,
that's the point that I forgot to make earlier
Seahawks.
when I was talking about being on television, is that yes, it would be more easily digestible if you have an early playoff exit, because this is such a weird season no one expected. But there is not really a scary team in the playoffs. The fact that the Seattle Seahawks, are the Super Bowl favorites with Sam Darnold at quarterback, like, that's all you need to know. That's all that needs to be said. And Seahawks have a good team, but Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold is the Super Bowl champion favorite quarterback.
He had a play Saturday night, running back, just play action, runs to the flat, wide open for a touchdown. He stares at him, doesn't throw it, takes a 12-yard sack from the 2-yard line. And it's just like, I can't trust. Like, every time I think there's a team that could go in a playoff or Super Bowl run, I'm like, no. Like the Niners, I thought, had that. They've looked tough the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
The Rams have looked tough. The only team that would make sense to win the Super Bowl from a roster standpoint is the Eagles. But God, do they stink. God, they're just the most miserable, confused bunch.
Right.
They can never get it together. But if they win, I'll be like, okay, at least something makes sense in this. But I don't think there's any other team you look at and be like, Super Bowl team.
No, because
like Bo Nix is not a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
That's the funny. Like, I think if there's like the non-weirdest Super Bowl would be Bills-Eagles.
Just because strictly quarterback. Like, the Bills are not very good.
But the Bills aren't very good. Like, their offense, their offensive weapons stink to high heaven. Like Brandon Cooks is heavily involved, and he's not young.
Yep.
He's younger than us, but
it makes sense from the great quarterbacks are going to win, but it's like Mahomes had a losing record this year. Right. You know, you need more than that. So it's going to be a weird Super Bowl, and by that measure, like it could be the Patriots. And I don't think if they play the, I guess other than the Panthers, any NFC team would be illegitimate. No one. The Bears would be a little funny.
It would be good. I mean, I truly would not be surprised by anything that happens in the playoffs for the Patriots. If they have a first round exit, would I be surprised? No, not really. If they made it to the Super Bowl, would I be surprised? No, not really. If they won the Super Bowl, I guess I would be a little bit surprised.
Sure. You wouldn't be shocked though, just because of what we just talked about.
Because there's no team that you look at right now and say that team is unbeatable. What a wagon. Holy crap.
Can I tell you what I want? You know, no one cares what Doug wants. You know what Mike wants?
Everyone cares.
I would like.
No one cares what I want, but everyone cares what Mike wants.
I would like the Bills to beat the Jaguars because whatever, which would send the Bills to Denver. And then the Patriots, let's say they win, they'd probably get Houston. Yeah. We assume Houston's going to beat the AFC North team. And then the Bills to beat Denver. I'd love Patriots-Bills AFC Championship game. Like I would probably just turn off the @tab on Twitter because the Bills fans are mad. I got the Bills fans mad today. Can I scratch an itch?
Sure.
There's nothing dumber in sports than Josh Allen fake starting to keep his start streak alive. There's nothing. Yeah. He's done it 2 straight Week 18s. And it's like, Josh, what are you doing? I think he's 77 away from the record, which is what, 4.5 years?
Yeah.
Like, and you're not playing. Like, no one in the world cares about it.
You're not fooling anyone, Josh.
But, like, it's not a cool record.
Right?
Yeah. It's not, no one cares. Talk about MVP awards. No one cares about consecutive games started. Like, Brett Favre started a lot of games. Cool. No one cares. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I checked it out today. What? I think Bill Romanowski started like 157 games in a row as a linebacker. That's insane. That's cool. Insane. Way cooler than Josh Allen.
That is definitely way cooler.
I had a couple more dooms just to throw on.
Hold on. This is a safe space right now, right?
No.
So we're 52 minutes in.
Yeah.
If you're a Bills fan listening at this point,
you're sick.
Figure out your priorities in life. You're listening to a Patriots podcast for 52 minutes. What's wrong with you?
True.
Bills fans, and like the part of this is just that Twitter is a cesspool at this point. But Bills fans are probably the most annoying fan base I've ever encountered.
Okay.
They're like aggressively annoying.
I'd only push back and say that's kind of like every NFL fan base.
It's true. I tweeted something about that Jaguars offensive lineman who signed a $50 million deal.
Oh, God.
I was like, this is crazy because he's started like 9 games in his career.
Mm-hmm.
And like Jaguars fans who I think are a very sensitive group in general.
Yeah.
Like kind of came at my throat about it. And one guy was like, he's the best backup offensive lineman in the league. I'm like, bro, he signed for $51 million.
Right.
He can back up any position. Like, okay, you're making my point for me right now. So yeah, part of it is just
he
like
can't
every
start.
Fan base.
Okay, he can't start.
But I think Bills fans, Chris Berman said it. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, and it's the same thing about their fan base. Like they will go after something in a herd, like buffaloes do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes them more annoying.
Well, like I said, I tweeted like this is a dumb thing to do, to have like Allen working in at practice and then Schefter's reporting he's good to go Sunday. Right. He's on the injury report. And then he goes in and yeah, it doesn't really throw them off, but I put it back in with all that loser stuff we talked about with MVP awards. Like, what is your priority? And they went out last year. They did it. They didn't win the Super Bowl, and I'll hold that against them. And they tempted fate, and the Patriots ended up with a better pick because of it. So I don't know. It's just goofy nonsense. And then I want to give you a number of the number of times, number of replies to my tweet, 101. And I would say 101 of those are Bills fans who suddenly really care about game started streak, where it's like, nobody, you don't care about that. Yeah. You don't care about that. Grow up.
We got a comment here. It is Breaville 9332. great fan of a great listener of ours. Pat's journalist calling any other team's fans annoying will start the next revolution. I mean, listen, I'm sure Patriots fans are very like I've been annoyed by Patriots fans in the past. I'm sure they're very, 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 very annoying to
Yeah, I just think
other
it's
teams' fans. But
NFL
I actually
culture.
think this has been like I think Patriots fans have been on their best behavior this season.
Well, there was a stretch where it seemed like the Patriots were oddly likable, and we could kind of entertain that fact. But I would say, based on my internet experience, I think that window was maybe a 3-week window in November. Like it's closed. Everyone hates
Last
each
week's
other.
news definitely didn't help the likability factor of the Patriots.
I would agree. There was a lot on that, but I just think people like they went from not knowing May to being like, oh, that's cool, to hating May and hoping he loses the MVP award. It's just like that was quick. You know, it came back.
That was quick.
Nobody liked each other. And I think if you were to take a national poll of if your team can't win this year, who would you want to win? I think Buffalo still would lead the way because everyone kind of feels bad for them.
Yeah.
Right? Nationally?
Yeah.
If you had to pick and you're in Dallas or you're in Kansas City or you're maybe not Kansas City and you're in Atlanta, wherever, pick a team that's in this postseason that isn't your team. Who do you want to win? Bills probably lead that vote. I'd be interested.
I would be interested too. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. Like, what's the most inconsequential team? What impacts people the least would probably be a factor.
Yeah, because like
the Bears, I have no ties to the Bears, but like they've got a really good fan base. They could ease a win.
Yeah. Great sports city.
Since, 1985, which was a really long time ago because that was before either one of us were born.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, no one probably has crazy strong feelings about Denver.
No, but I don't know. Sean Payton, not the most.
But you also
head coach,
and you also don't want it to be like Jacksonville. All due respect, Jaguars fans are not listening because then it's like the Jaguars won the Super Bowl. You know, that's almost as random as if the Bengals had won the Super Bowl.
The Jaguars or Panthers. I know those teams. Hey, those teams have been around for 30 years now.
93-ish.
What?
93?
95.
5? Close enough.
So they're at the point of deserving a Super Bowl win.
Yeah. Panthers almost had a couple.
They've been in it.
Yeah.
What do you think about Cam Newton? I know you got some dooms left.
Yeah, no. Well, one more doom. Josh McDaniels' 4th and 1 play call was bad.
Yeah.
I had Carlton Davis on there as well. And
first half defense overall, not good.
The screen defense. Just you gave up 14 on a 3rd and 17 to allow a field goal, and you gave up 20 on a 3rd and 17. Just clean up the screen game. Yeah, I have a bone to pick with you because you know where I stand on certain people on Twitter you've got to ignore. I mean, if that wasn't the most blatantly obvious look at me post by Cam Newton, he literally was like it and subscribe and tweet and know who's saying. And it was like, he said nothing about Drake May, the football player. He thinks it was just a dumb, illogical take.
So it is. It was dumb. It was illogical. Calling Drake May a game manager when he's like the best deep passer in the NFL is really incredibly stupid. Listen, also, not a lot of self-awareness from Cam to be like, yeah, of course Drake May's doing this. He's got Josh McDaniels as his offensive coordinator. Cam, you played under Josh McDaniels and you weren't good that season.
Well, he thinks Josh McDaniels is a genius because he taught him to identify the Mike linebacker before the snap, which no one in Carolina ever told him. And it's like, that's where we're starting. That's the standard for a great coach.
Listen, I know this is all part of the shtick, but like the victimization of Cam being like, you don't like the guy who's saying it, but I'm gonna say it's like, no, that has nothing to do with it. Like, Patriots fans liked you when you were the Patriots quarterback.
Yeah, I liked Cam.
Yeah, he was a fun personality for the season. He wasn't very good, but like he made the season more fun than it should have been.
But you know what?
It has nothing to do with who's saying it. But like, if you're making a point that doesn't make sense, when you're calling him a game manager, not a game changer, like, first of all, that's not an actual conversation that anyone has about anything. Like, those aren't the only two options in the world. But your last sentence being that Drake May has been a game manager because their head coach was fired last year and because he has a good offensive coordinator, like, that's not the definition of a game manager.
Yeah. No, it's just, but Even going back to when he would talk to us back in 2020, he would talk, and you could tell the thought had not preceded the speech. But it was entertaining and fun, and I stand by that. Cam Newton is an entertaining speaker. I wouldn't. You know what I tweeted about that? Nothing, because you've got to ignore the blatantly obvious attempts to gain attention on stupidity. If he said there was nothing about the football player, there was nothing about the way he runs the offense, the passes that he throws, the offense that he's working in. It was just.
Do you think
he has Mike
Cam
Vrabel
Newton has watched an entire Patriots game this season?
Can I flip that on you? Because I've seen him on First Take, which he's on. Do you think Cam Newton has watched an entire football game this year? I'm serious. He does not. Like, people are mad at.
He does not present as if someone who has.
And, like, people are mad at Dan Orlovsky right now in New England. Right. Dan Orlovsky watches the film. Like, Dan Orlovsky has seen every throw of every meaningful throw that Drake May has made and everything. So there's just this different level of sort of substandard analysis that you're getting from Cam there. But you tweeted about it. I didn't. So I win.
Listen, I got to get those impressions one way or the other, right?
Fair enough. I have something to itch on my end because this is interesting. Another week 18.
Itch to scratch.
Last year, week 18, Joe Milton won the game for the Patriots.
Yeah.
And then in the offseason, the Patriots traded Joe Milton.
Yeah.
And I would say largely a media concoction. But, like Felger and Maz are powerful. They shape opinions and people absorb them. And a lot, maybe not just them, but it became a thing that Diva Drake May couldn't exist in a locker room with Joe Milton and made them trade him. And what does this say about Drake May? Is he strong enough to be a leader in the NFL if he can't even handle backup? And I went on the TV. It's on the internet. And I was like, what if the Patriots traded Joe Milton because he stinks and doesn't know it? And who played today for the Dallas Cowboys?
Joe Milton.
Joe Milton. And if you were to give him a grade, what would you give him?
Oh, I didn't see enough of that game, but from what I did see, didn't play very well.
He was bad. He was 7 for 13, 73 yards, threw a pick, ran it 4 times for 43 yards, ran it okay. He ran it okay. But I just think we have an issue.
Not a game that's going to get Joe Milton to have a team trade a third-round pick for him to be their starter.
We have an issue in our culture, and it's not just sports, but we are a sports podcast, where people show their ass, and they are fools, and they are buffoons on a public forum, and they say to everyone, I'm a fool, and they are proven to be a fool for whatever reason, and no one ever really follows up with it. No one ever comes back and says, like, hey, that thing you said was dumb. Why did you say it? It's just gone into the ether. And I don't think that's right. I think if you say something dumb, and I've said the dumb things, I'd like to stand here and be like, that I was wrong. My reasoning was off. I think if you said Drake May, his character is in question because of the Joe Milton trade, you need to come to the public forum and tell everyone how dumb you are. Okay?
I mean, the other funny thing about this too is that like Drake May has almost like campaigned against himself for MVP. So I don't think there's a lot of ego there involved with Drake May.
Well, he got Joe Milton traded. What does that say about his character? How weak is he? Is he going to last in the NFL? He skipped Mike Vrabel's introductory press conference. Problems?
Yeah.
There was a lot of dumb stuff said about Drake May in the offseason. I just wish there was a bye week to sort of bring it all back. It would have been nice.
I also, like, Patriots fans got mad about the Joe Milton trade because I think, like, Ben Volen was like, oh, could they get a third-round pick for him? I was like, no, they can't. He was a 6th-round pick, and he didn't play.
Once.
He was third stringer most of the year. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. So anyways, that itch had to be scratched, and I feel better that I did it.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a lot else to talk about for this game. We'll do another podcast midweek about the Chargers.
Can I throw a few things at you? This is AFC East related. Now, these are all Jets fun facts. Did you see them pouring in after the game?
Jets,
New York Jets.
Sure.
They are the first team to finish a season without an interception since
crazy.
Before the jet engine was invented. I believe I saw someone say that.
Wow.
They're the first team. This is all on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter. That's how I verified it.
Okay.
First team in NFL history to lose 5 straight games by 23 plus points within a single season. Hard to do. Garrett Wilson finished the season as the Jets' leading receiver. He last played He played in one game after October 12th, and he left it early. He had 395 yards. So the Jets apparently are keeping Aaron Glenn. Schefter said today they're committed to him. I don't know how you do that, but that is how you are the Jets, I suppose.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Would you rather have Aaron Glenn or Kevin Stefanski as your head coach?
Kevin Stefanski.
Would you rather have Aaron Glenn or Raheem Morris as your head coach?
Raheem Morris.
I think that says everything. Like, listen, it's not
Stefanski
the greatest crop of head coaches. The Jets don't have a Mike Vrabel out there to hire. So I understand them being like, let's just kick the can down the road and do this later. But, like, those guys are out there.
Did Stefanski get fired today?
No, but I think...
Oh, they're talking about it. And
you tweeted out the
Schefter thing.
The graphic of him being out from Schefter, right?
Was it him? I know Pete Carroll was on there.
I think it was him. I think it was Stefanski and Carroll.
Yeah. So he was saying maybe like a trade was possible, but unlikely. Right. So, yeah, I guess two-time coach of the year, Kevin Stefanski. Coach of the year. What did I say? Kevin of the year? Multi-time Kevin of the year. That's another award that I don't think anyone gives a crap about. Like, that's how I feel about the MVP.
Yeah.
Is like, should Vrabel win Coach of the Year? I don't know. Give it to Mike McDonald.
Coach of the Year is one that really doesn't. Like, I think Bill Belichick won it like once.
I think he won it once. I know Kevin Stefanski has won it twice. It's like, I don't know.
Ron Rivera won it like 2 or 3 times.
I think he's a 3-time winner, if I'm not mistaken. So, if Vrabel wins, well deserved. If Mike McDonald wins, well deserved. Kyle Shanahan, I thought, had a good case for it up until the other night. They looked really bad. Who else could win it? I think
a lot.
Like Ben Johnson could win it.
Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen.
Yeah, like so. Like I guess Vrabel's probably the favorite.
Yeah,
but that's.
But I mean, it's definitely not clear cut this year.
Yeah, it's like the way that anyone listening probably feels about that can help understand my thought on the MVP thing, where it's like, yeah, I mean, does he deserve it? Yeah, but it's also not an atrocity that Matthew Stafford's going to win it. Like 46 touchdowns is good.
What are your other Jets thoughts?
Oh, that was it.
Oh, okay.
A lot of Jets fun facts pouring out today. Just a bad football team. They got carved up by Mitch Trubisky today. I don't know. I don't know how you keep Aaron Glenn, but it's good news for the Patriots if they go into next year with that structure in place.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what happens to Mike McDaniel. Also, maybe the fact that he hasn't been fired yet is good news.
It seems as though he successfully scapegoated Tua.
And honestly, so we've also got someone in the comments asking us for a Matt Patricia update, but
not a Matt Patricia podcast.
We're still not a Matt Patricia podcast. I think that's fair. I think that Mike McDaniel, you could regret losing him, and maybe this isn't the team that he winds up winning a Super Bowl with 2 or 3 years down the line. But I think you want to pair him with a different quarterback and see what it looks like.
Maybe. I mean, which quarterbacks are going to be out there?
That's the tough thing.
There was one more Jets tweet that I forgot, and it was Brian Costello of the New York Post had a tweet at 5:22 p.m. Sometimes I wonder what the Jets actually do at practice. That's a reporter. That's not like me.
Yeah.
It's pretty damning that they are that bad. So you should be good there. And the Dolphins thing, like the Patriots, they should be in better shape than at least half of their division going. I assume the Bills are going to go nuts with their new stadium as much as they can to get back to the top spot. But you should have a leg up on half of your division going into next year.
Not a good week for Matt Patricia. Ohio State.
No.
Lost. College football playoff fun though, honestly.
Well, the Friday night, I don't know.
I think just the future of it, like the fact that Ohio State is out, the fact that Alabama's out, it's fun.
The fact that teams that get a bye are 1-7. Is that right?
Crazy.
Is that right?
It's too long. The bye is way too long.
It's like 3 weeks. And then the teams that won though had 2 weeks off. It felt like
I don't know what to do about it, but
the Ole Miss game that
was great.
No, yeah, right? That was what night was that? Thursday? Tuesday? Friday?
Was it Friday?
It was Thursday. Oh, it was Thursday. New Year's Day. Yeah, that game was nuts.
Yeah, that game was fun.
But yeah,
I started falling asleep during it, but then I like perked up, stayed awake for the rest of it. Steelers just scored. Looks like the Steelers could win this one.
a lot of points in that one. I would say I don't put that one on Patricia. You know I would if it was. The Ohio State offense was putrid.
Real stinky.
So, yeah, I would say, I guess I'm okay with the 8. I don't need 12. I don't need James Madison. I don't need Tulane.
No.
We're wasting everybody's time.
As we are right now by continuing this podcast for an extra 10 minutes longer than
what else you
we
got?
usually do.
I finished Stranger Things.
I have watched like 3 episodes of it.
Do you want to take on Stranger Things? If you're at 110, you want a Stranger Thing. Like you're like, please give me the Stranger Things.
Just don't spoil anything because
no spoilers. I hate spoilers. There's 0 spoilers. I just think like online, you just see complaints. I think people expect and want. Oh, you probably would hit that extra point there, buddy. People expect and demand too much from their TV shows.
Yeah.
Like I don't think anyone's ever been happy with the finale of anything.
Right.
And it's like you're probably mad because a show you liked ended. I don't know that there's a way that people are happy with it, and like there's no way to live up to those expectations. That's why everyone like I watched it and no spoilers. It ended, and I was like, oh, there you go.
People I know seem to like it.
Oh, I saw a lot of complaints, and like I would say this is not a spoiler. Bit lengthy. The finale was 2 hours and 8 minutes. They could have sent me in an editing room. I would have had that down to a clean 125.
Yeah.
No problem. Like it would not have been difficult. Some of the ones leading up to that were just long, and the scenes were just, you're used to a certain pacing in TV, and you're like, could you go to the next scene? But whatever, and I would say it's a show you started with a bunch of kids. Only a third of them learned how to act along the way, which makes it difficult to watch as they're like young adults. So not the best acting performances across the board, but whatever. It's over. It was it ended.
People want to know what your hat is.
Pat's Chat. Perfect. This is a Puma hat. Cool. I got it at Granite Links.
There it is.
I didn't pay for the golf that day. It's very expensive.
Have you watched The Sopranos?
Yes.
So we only finished that within the last 2-3 months. I don't want to give any spoilers, but I knew what the ending was going to be because I had heard about it at the time. But like, it truly is so confusing when it happens.
I saw it so much later. This is a crazy football game. I watched it during the pandemic. So I had obviously known how it, but having watched it and like, even though it was like, I thought it was pretty direct.
It's direct, but the way it was handled was just like, wait, I can totally understand why people are like, did my TV stop functioning?
Sure. Cause it was like a good 10 seconds of silence.
Did HBO malfunction? Like what happened?
Yeah.
It was just very oddly done, but I agree.
Yeah. We also got a comment that said outside of Breaking Bad and maybe The Wire, Breaking Bad had a great ending.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad nailed it. Even like people were upset with Saul, Better Call Saul, but Breaking Bad, that's true. That was probably the best. But I was a big Lost guy back in the day. People were pissed. People are still pissed.
All right. We'll talk to you guys midweek. Goodbye.
Good talk.